Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Plenty of quality women. Plenty of quality women. And I really have to address that because I've had, you always get a bunch of guys, particularly in this section of YouTube, but overall, it's really overall, who always complaining about the women. And it's tough. We all had that. And I'm going to give you something. I remember years ago, I wrote something specifically about the shortage of good black women. But that was like in the late 90s. I wrote that. But I've come to change, not even just for them, but just overall. Because at the time, I was extremely picky. But that's 20 years ago. And one thing I will admit, if I have a change of ideas or thoughts from before, I'll acknowledge it. It's just called evolution. No one should be thinking the same way from 20 years. They should be able to see it. And I see the bigger picture now than I did at the time. I see the way bigger picture. And I'm like, you know what? There's plenty of quality women. Because one of the things, and I've talked about this before, too many guys focus on the negative women. They either focus on the ratchets. They think every woman's ratchet. But I'm like, well, one, you haven't met every woman. Two, if that's what you meeting, you need to look at where you at. What environment you in. Because there are some environments you're going to see primarily ratchets, but that means you're in a poor neighborhood. And you in an area where that is. If that is, that's not the women. They just who they are. They in their natural environment. You got to say you got to leave. And even some guys who ain't in there, that's all they focus on. But because that's their personal experience, you know? And let me go on a tangent. If somebody's constantly encountering that, the only thing those women have in common is them. So if that's what you constantly encountering, then it's something with you. And you, the man, have total control over that, right? So that's one angle. But then you got another angle where they checking out those IG type of women or those real women who real fly and then trying to use men and stuff. And, and some of them, they can be bad too. They can be bad. See, and that's the thing I'm noticing. A lot of guys are focusing on the extremes. Either the ratchet ones or the real beautiful ones who are trying to play them or something, or who, if they even talk to them, will reject them and everything. And even though a lot of those like real beautiful ones, they just diesel women. Shout out BGS, diesel women, sex worker types, even if they acculturated prostitutes. So you got guys dealing with that. But the key to it is to look at yourself. That's the first key. That's the first thing. If you're dealing with that, looking at yourself. Because the only thing any of these bad women have in common is you. Let me say that again. It's not that they bad. Is that you keep running into them. Yeah, because there's naturally bad people out there. And here's something deeper. And for every bad woman, there's somebody she treats well. So if you get women constantly treating you bad and not well, you got to say, what is it about you? And that's a big part of what I talk about anyway. But understand that first thing is change your own perception. Deal with whatever it is in you. It might be because you look like a mark. You look like a mark. Or you're not like developing your social skills to the point you can read who you're dealing with. Or you're not walking with some balls. And you say, you let them know quick. You like your whole demeanor, body language, everything, let them know quick you ain't the one to play with. All right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is just understanding once you change what was within you, you'll notice there's a bunch of quality women out there. When I say quality, like a lot of dudes focus on like single moms, ratchets, women trying to get money. But I'm saying this from what I'm seeing. Understand, I say a third of the coaching clients I get are women. And then I know a whole lot of women. Y'all don't see what I do. Y'all just see me in a 10-minute, maybe 20-minute car video. And somebody, ignorantly would think that's it. I'm like, no, that's a specific thing. I don't stand the rest of my house just sitting around. Like virtually every store in this area, every restaurant I go to in this area, every gym I go to in this area, I know somebody. And you start talking to them. You start interacting with them. Like I know a lot of women I would call at least acquaintances. Some friends, some acquaintances. Means I know them. I know what their relationship thing is because they telling me. And I know like a lot of them don't have kids. A lot of them don't have any guys. And you know what? Nah, they ain't ready for it. They ain't going to like get a lot of attention on Instagram, but they ain't like mud ducks either. So they ain't ugly. In fact, you'll find the one thing about a quality woman is always going to try to fix up to the best of her ability. No, she might can stand to lose maybe 10 pounds. You know what? Her breast might not be all that big and perky. Or her butt might not be like that Bud Duncan round, but they still cool. You know, they still keep themselves up. They still have respect for a good man. You know, they ain't chasing, they ain't necessarily chasing a bad boy or something like that. You know, if you a guy, you decent, you're a decent guy, you work hard, you got a sense of humor, like a decent personality. Oh, the women are very open for you, you know. Now, are you going to be like totally select? Because, the women every woman got like their ideal that they want. But one thing about a quality woman, she's also realistic. If you approach it, they open. A lot of women are open just for a decent guy, right? A decent guy. So, and like I said, these women are more realistic. Because that's another thing. There's too much focus on the ones with unrealistic standards. I'm like, if they unrealistic, let them go. Just don't deal with them, Yeah, heck, on my woman's channel, I talked about that subject. I had to let them know about something they had that was unrealistic. But you got plenty of quality women. They got realistic standards who they deal with. All you have to do is just have a regular conversation with them. You don't even have to hit them with line or what people call game. Just have a regular conversation with them. Just be in decent shape. Decent shape. You don't have to be built like some Adonis. And, as long as you decent height, even if you're not decent height sometime, all these women ain't, you got a lot of women like 5'2" or something. They good with you if you 5'5". They good with that. Like I said, they realistic. They got reasonable standards. They just looking for somebody to click with. There's a whole lot of quality women. They just want somebody to click with. They ain't like, yeah, you do got a few that want like that, alpha showpiece and everything. And most women, if the alpha showpiece make himself available, oh yeah, they'll deal with him. But at the same time, like I said, if you decent guy, good guy, got a decent personality, can laugh, got a sense of humor, like a real person, you're a real dude out here, oh, they gonna respond. They gonna be like, oh, hey, especially if you just fix yourself up a little bit, they gonna respond. And there's plenty. And let's bring it back to what I said, changing what's in you that keep encountering these bad women. You're gonna find out your perception. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, I'm not focusing on these ratchet women. Like I said, and I've said that a few times. Like, I've even had some so-called critics talking about, I don't be talking about. That's because I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with ratchet women. I don't fuck with those, like, diesel type of women trying to get money out of somebody. I deal with real women, realistic women. I don't focus on. They don't even register on my radar. They don't even register on my radar. And then once you change that perception, you find out, wait, damn, there's an abundance. Like I said, maybe 20 years ago, I might have saw that, but I was pickier then. Like, a woman had to be like, she had to be star quality. She had to be star quality. But, you start looking at it a little different, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. She ain't a star, but she's still cool. She still got some sex appeal. She still got some sex appeal. She all into me. Shoot. She trying to make me a sandwich. So that's the important thing, y'all. Plenty of it. Get that mindset. And once you start developing that mindset, all of a sudden you'll find there's an abundance of the type of women that you actually want to deal with. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Talk to y'all later.